All right, so we have students, we have to start from the last paragraph of sociological school, right? And we'll start from there. किसी को कुछ भी डाउट है पूछना है बिफोर आई स्टार्ट? एनीवन? नहीं है? ठीक है, I'm going to start now the class. So, okay, students, we'll start from the last paragraph of sociological school. Okay, kindly pay attention. It says about Mr. Roscoe Pound. He is considered to be the American leader in the field of sociological jurisprudence. He comes from Harvard Law School and has a great academic favor. He is the most systematic writer on sociological jurisprudence. Mr. Pound concentrates more on the functional aspect of law. That is why some writers name his approach as functional school. Roscoe Pound's main thesis is the task of law is social. In the task of law is social engineering. Kindly mark it as in the task. Is that the task of law? I guess there's something wrong with the English here. Alright. Roscoe Pound basically propounded the term social engineering. He was the man behind, the functional school approach. Okay. So I suppose there won't be any confusion in this paragraph because it's basically talking about Mr. Roscoe Pound and his accomplishments. Not rather accomplishments, but what he's most famous for. Alright. So we'll move ahead directly to the realist school. Okay. Realist school. In America, sociological jurisprudence has developed an extreme wing under the name of realist school. They are concerned with the study of law as it works and functions, which means investigating the social factors that make a law on one hand and the social results on the other. Kindly correct it. Make a law on one hand and the social results on the other. They emphasize more on what the courts may do rather than abstract logical deductions from general rules and on the inarticulate ideological premises underlying a legal system. Okay, pretty big words here. So I'm going to start. I won't ask anybody, but then let's begin with the first line again. In America, sociological jurisprudence has developed an extreme wing under the name of realist school. So what you can see here that we are talking about American culture, and this paragraph states that sociological school of law or sociological jurisprudence developed a wing, a sub-department under its head and called it the realist school. So you're getting the point. Realist school emerged out of sociological school of thought. Okay, and and the realist school, what does it actually deal with and how does it function? It's given in the second line. Start marking from here if you have the notes. They are concerned with the study of law as it works and functions, which means investigating the social factors that make a law on one hand and social results on another. So realist school से तुम लोग एक चीज समझ रहे हो. It basically realist. The term realist means real, something that is happening, practical, है ना? So realist school के लिए क्या कहा गया है कि it basically watches out for first thing is how a law is made, right? The first thing that a realist school of law investigates is how a law is made, and what is the second thing that they deal with it? It's results on the society. Okay, second line को अगर तुम लोग underline करो और ध्यान से देखो तो it basically speaks the complete agenda about realist school, saying that it investigates of how a law is made on the first hand, and on the other hand it also keeps a check on the social results. Social results of what? Social results of the law that is being made and applied. जो first hand पे law making की बात हो रही है, second time उसी law के social results की बात करी जा रही है. Okay, got it? ठीक है, any confusion? Realist school का यही मतलब है. ठीक है, रियलिस्ट स्कूल का मेन कंसर्न क्या है? लॉ बनाना और सोसाइटी पे लॉ का क्या इफेक्ट पड़ता है, क्या रिजल्ट्स आते हैं. सिंपल. देयर इज नो सच टफ सीड हियर. ओके, उसके बाद देखो लास्ट लाइन में क्या लिखा है, दे एम्फसाइज मोर ऑन व्हाट द कोर्ट्स में डू रादर देन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लॉजिकल डिडक्शंस. बस यहीं तक याद, मतलब अगर ध्यान दो, दे टिल डिडक्शंस, दे एम्फसाइज मोर ऑन व्हाट कोर्ट्स में डू रादर देन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लॉजिकल डिडक्शंस. तो इस हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो वंस दे हैव मेड देयर लॉ, उसके बाद सोशल रिजल्ट्स का वो वेट करते हैं, और अगर उस पर कोई, इफ देयर इज एनीथिंग, एनी रॉन्ग डूइंग हैपनिंग, they would rather wait and they would rather seek as to what the court is going to do. They won't put in their own logical deductions in anything, right? They would rely on the court, because in realist school of thought they are being practical, because if anything wrong happens in the society against the law, the court is supposed to deliver a judgment on that wrongdoing, right? आज भी यही होता है. If there is a case, if there is a robbery that takes place at a bank, उसका judgment, when all the accused people are caught, the court delivers the judgment, right? पुलिस का काम डंडे मारना होता है, but the police cannot deliver a judgment. They will beat, the daylights out of the thief, but then they will not deliver a judgment कि अब इनके साथ क्या करना चाहिए. They take them to the court, because the court will deliver a judgment. So even today, if you people see, we are somewhere relying on the court's decision, right? ओके, क्लियर? रियलिस्ट स्कूल समझ में आ गया सबको? एनी डाउट्स? इफ देयर इज एनी डाउट प्लीज आस्क, और एल्स I'll ask, start asking you people. इसलिए please prompt me if you have any doubt. The last paragraph of realist school is an introduction about some jurists. American realism is not a school of jurisprudence, but it is a pedagogy of thought. The prominent jurists of this thought are Mr. Holmes, Gray, and Jerome Frank. Simple. Okay, the last thing that we are going to see here is like, it's not basically it's not a very well taken school of law. बहुत लास्ट में इसको ऐड किया गया था, और बहुत कम ही लोग इस चीज़ को recognize करते हैं. And this is called the positivist theory or the positivist school of law. Okay. So Khushi had a doubt about positivism. What is positivism? And हो सकता है उसके बाद there might be some other students who might be having certain confusions. So after going through positivist school of law or the theory, तुम लोग के doubts clear हो जाएंगे. All right, you won't face any such problems, and if there is, kindly let me know. Okay. So and when we complete this positivist theory, we'll overcome a very major part of the chapter, because all the 5 types of schools of law would be done. Okay. So yes, legal positivism has ancient roots. Christians believe that the 10 commandments have sacred and preeminent value, in part because they were inscribed in stone by God and delivered to Moses on Mount Sinai. When the ancient Greeks intended for a new law to have permanent validity, they inscribed it on stone or wood and displayed it in a public place for all to see. In classical Rome, Emperor Justinian developed an elaborate system of law that was contained in a detailed and voluminous written code. अच्छा, ये जो यहाँ से line start हो रही है, firstly we have been given a reference from the Christian's reference from the 10 commandments. Okay, people who don't know, 10 commandments are basically holy orders by the God in Christians, and yes, which is written here, they were inscribed on a stone by God and delivered to Moses. Moses was one of his disciples, or say one of his well-spoken people. In simple words, right hand. Okay. But okay, anyone kindly, okay, Kritika, you from third line, when the ancient Greeks, यहाँ से written code का क्या मतलब है? और या तो when the ancient Greeks say for all to see, what does it mean? It's written in a very simple way. Exactly. Yeah, and it was in the very similar way that God did to Moses. It was inscribed on a stone or wood and displayed in a public place for all to see, right? और उसके बाद भी देखो ये रोमन एम्परर जस्टिनियन के बारे में भी यही चीज दिया है. He developed an elaborate system of law that was contained in a detailed and voluminous written code. उसने भी क्या किया? He codified all the laws that came up to his mind for his people, and then he wrote a huge law book for his own people and then presented it to all of his people, right? Any confusion in the first paragraph? No? Lotus, Samriddhi, Sakshi, Piyush, Rochak, Shanaya, any doubt? Alright, so moving ahead. Prior to the American Revolution, English political thinkers Mr. John Austin and Thomas Hobbes articulated the command theory of law, which stood for the proposition that the only legal authorities that courts should recognize are the commands of the sovereign, because only the sovereign is entrusted with the power to enforce. अच्छा एक बात बताओ, you people must have read, come across the word sovereign in political science. What does sovereign mean? बहुत simple सा meaning है इसका. What does sovereign mean? I'm asking this because I don't want anybody to, misinterpret the word sovereign. It's a very, well-used term in law and social studies. What does sovereign mean? क्या कोई तो बताओ मुझे. ओहो, किसी ने गूगल से पूछा अभी तक? Okay, sovereign means supreme power. ये देखो 1 microsecond बाद बोला. Almost waited for me to prompt. Okay, good. Who said it? Lotus or Shanish? किसने बोला? Shanish. Yes, very such drastic change in Shanish. First he never used to interact. Now he's giving answers. Very nice, Shanish. It means sovereign. But where did you take help from, by the way? Offline dictionary or Google? Google, very nice. At least somebody is making good use of Google. Good. So sovereign means supreme power. ठीक है? तो all right. Shanaya, tell me, what does this line mean? Which stood for the proposition that the only legal authorities that courts should recognize are the commands of sovereign. That's it. बस इतना ही बताओ मुझे. What does this mean? Oh, this is the master of all excuses. How many students don't have notes right now? One, two, three, four, five, six. Sure. ये कब तक चलता रहेगा ऐसे, मतलब? अच्छा, तुषार, ओके. हाँ आप लोग, हाँ तुषार, काइंडली स्विच ऑन योर कैम. Okay, so all right, please get your notes as soon as possible. It's going to be good for all of you because I keep asking you all to mark as well. Okay, Avishi, you've got notes? All right, jitna. All right, good, Shanish, very nice. वैसे this is really good that he's doing. You can mark it on your devices as well if you are using a different device. Okay, no problem. ओके अविशी, जितना मैंने शनाया से पूछा था वहाँ से वहाँ तक, व्हाट डज दैट मीन? विच स्टूड फॉर द प्रोपोजिशन से लेके कमांड्स ऑफ सॉवरेन तक. इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग ऑफ दीज टू लाइंस, ये पूरा पैराग्राफ क्लियर हो जाएगा एंड देन वी कैन मूव अहेड. व्हाट डज दैट मीन? Yes. Okay. So students, did you get it? इस लाइन में इतना ही लिखा है that courts being one of the most highest judgmental authority, they should only recognize and follow the commands of the sovereign. अब sovereign कौन है? सुप्रीम पावर होता है कंट्री में. और सुप्रीम पावर हमारी कंट्री में कौन है? गवर्नमेंट, मोदी जी, राइट? तो वट एवर लॉज बाई लॉज आर डिलीवर्ड बाय द गवर्नमेंट, सुप्रीम कोर्ट उसी बेसिस पे, उसी बिहाफ पे अपना जजमेंट देगा, राइट? लॉ से अलग हटके तो कुछ देगा नहीं. So this is what's being said in this line, that the court should only recognize the commands of sovereign, because वो supreme power है, वो जो law बताएगा उसी पे everything is based. All right, clear? Okay, moving on. The third paragraph, positivism. अब यहाँ से तो तुम लोग खुद ही देख लेना. It says about its root. Positivism is from the Latin root positus, which means to posit, postulate, or firmly affix the existence of something. Legal positivism is a school of jurisprudence whose advocates, यहाँ advocates का मतलब है बेटा jurists, philosophers, okay? John Austin, Thomas Hobbes, इन सब का नाम लिया है. So these are the people. Advocates, so you can write jurists or philosophers. So legal positivism is a school of jurisprudence whose advocates believe that the only legitimate source of law are those written rules, regulations and principles that have been expressively enacted, adopted, recognized by government entity or political. सिंपल सी चीज़ लिखी है कि positivism क्या होता है, कहाँ से आया और लोग क्या believe करते हैं. ठीक है, इसमें there is nothing that I need to tell you on logic. All right. Okay, so now we move on to the next major part of the chapter, which is customs. Basically sources of law. इसमें तीन आएंगे: customs, legislation and precedents. And trust me, these three topics are done. उसके बाद खत्म है. उसके बाद सिर्फ sources of international law में दो चीज़ है और कुछ नहीं है. मतलब this is like the second major part. इसके बाद once we are done with this, we complete 90% of the chapter. All right. Okay. Customs हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था क्या students? Did we go through the topic customs? In the first chapter we had customs, right? Why is my PC? Okay, so customs में मुझे I'll take up 3-4 names. मुझे थोड़ा बहुत कुछ दो लाइन बता दो, so that at least I am a little in confidence that तुम लोगों को पता है. Okay, I'll start with, let me just take the names first. Lotus, Himanshi, Piyush, Rochak, Shania and alright, इतने students काफ़ी हैं. So Lotus, we begin with you. Like tell me in 1 or 2 lines custom क्या होता है, custom as a source of law, जो last chapter में हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था. Now that I've asked him, Lotus is gone. Switched off his camera and everything. Very smart, Lotus. Next student, Piyush. Okay, and हमने काफी कुछ पढ़ा था कस्टम के बारे में. Like, give me like an answer which is which gives me confidence कि तुम लोग को पता है थोड़ा बहुत. अब सबसे पूछने का टाइम नहीं है because क्लास तो लिमिटेड होता है. Okay, who was the next student? Rochak. No worries, Piyush. Keep reading your text. Don't worry. पढ़ते रहो. It's okay. Good that you took an attempt. Yes, Rochak. Tell me. All right. Pretty good. Yes. So Rochak's answer is going to help a lot many people who. What was the other name that I took? Shania. Customs. What are customs as a source of law or in general? Shania Sapra I'm talking about, not Shania. Like if I am not mispronouncing any name. Am I audible even? Like nobody's reacting. I don't know. Okay. What other name did I take? Okay, thank you, sir. Alright, Shania, you only tell me. What is a custom? Yes, you. All right, but how do customs get converted into law? मतलब custom जैसे as रोचक said, right, ancestral होता है. तो what you're saying is also correct that governments lay करता है अपने हमारे ऊपर इसको, but then how does it land up in government's hands? क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट भी देखता है ना कि इन इंडिया देयर इज अ लॉ व्हिच इज बीइंग फॉलोड फ्रॉम 1925 एज अ कस्टम. फिर इंडिपेंडेंस आया 47 में, 50 में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना. अब हमने एक लॉ फॉलो स्टार्ट किया है करना, और वो 1922 में कस्टम था, बिकॉज वी आर फॉलोइंग इट फॉर द पास्ट 80 ईयर्स. 80 ईयर्स पे अगर कुछ फॉलो कर रहे हैं हम लोग, तो ज़रूरी है ना कि हो सकता है वो चीज़ सही हो. दैट इज़ वाई वी आर फॉलोइंग दैट. If there is something wrong with our custom, neither would we follow that, nor the government would let us follow that. All right. So that is how custom came into existence. One more student left. किससे पूछा था मैंने? I took another name. यार, अच्छा, my favorite student will tell me. Akarshan will tell me. The American guy. Akarshan, where are you? Switched off your camera, mic, everything. Are you even attending the class? All right, Lotus, tell me the answer. Lotus, did you read somewhere or what? He rushed and got a book or somewhere, you know. Acha, Akarshan, you'll have to wait. Lotus, your turn. Yes, but don't use the term past few years and ancestors together. Past few years का मतलब होता है 5 साल 8 साल, ancestors होते हैं 50 साल पहले के. So दोनों चीज एक साथ में यूज करो. चलो, I am glad that you people know. Himanshi, I asked you as well, but you are lucky because almost all the other students gave the right answer. But I am supposing that तुमको भी पता होगा ये answer. Please don't disappoint me. And okay. And next question, Shanya, I'm going to start with you because, you know, when I asked the question, when it was her turn, she was sitting as if her camera, you know, is not working. She was sitting in one position so that everybody assumes that her network got lost or something. Very smart. Okay, the next question we're going to start with Shanya. Everybody remember that. Okay, remind me. Okay, so now honestly tell me, custom mein, I'm not going to start with the introduction. I'll start directly from these points. As you can see, usage of custom as a source of law. All right, क्योंकि यही पॉइंट सारे इंपॉर्टेंट हैं इसमें, और इसके बाद ये टॉपिक खत्म भी है. ओके, सो द फर्स्ट पॉइंट बीइंग a customary custom or use which does not have outright authority is obviously discernible from a legitimate custom having power of law. Wow, what does discernible mean? यहाँ तो मतलब मेरी भी इंग्लिश रुक गई है. What is the meaning of discernible? कोई तो हेल्प करो. Yes बेटा, I left the, you know, introduction to custom क्योंकि वो तो हम सब ने किया ही हुआ है. I'm directly starting from custom as a source of law, the points. Do you want me to go with the, you know, introduction as well? Sure. Okay, students, I googled it. Discernible का मतलब होता है perceptible. Now, what is perceptible? I know what is perceptible. Kritika, what does perceptible mean? Perceptible. Perceptible. All right. Okay, such a decent relief to me. I thought I'll have to Google something again, but no. Fine, thank you. Okay, so the first statement says a custom or use which does not have outright authority is obviously perceptible from a legitimate custom having a power of law. This line basically includes a lot many big words, but इसका मतलब यही निकल के आता है for students to understand that any custom does not require to have an outright authority. Okay, any custom, it does not have to have an outright authority. Rather, it should not, you know, have a power of law. It should be correct in its usage. It should bring out a good meaning, bring out a good habit out of its usage. All right. Custom law तब बनता है जब government उसे बनाती है, right? When the government turns it into law. But custom जब as a custom use होता है तो there is no such legal background behind the custom. There is no such outright authority behind the custom. It's just a good habit which is being followed by, say, a group of people, and then it comes upon to a lot many other people. All right? Understood? Any doubt? किसी को कोई डाउट है? Okay, what I'm saying is, it's okay. Custom here means that custom is not basically something that should have an outright authority or a legal background, right? It should be something which is done in good faith and it should be a good deed. Law तो वो तब बनता है जब सरकार, government or the parliament turns it into a law, right? If our ancestors are following something for past 50 years, I'm really sure that it is not something wrong that they are following, right? For example, there were some malpractices that were being done in early Indian Vedic ages and all, but now it doesn't happen because the government and the people and the society understood that maybe it's not a correct form of practice, so let's stop practicing it, right? And custom आज आके customary law बनता है because of its righteousness and application by the government. Second statement, a custom shall be binding if it is not proved that a particular sect is out of its scope and have no agreement regarding the same. We'll read it again. The first part of the sentence is, a custom shall be binding if it is not proved that a particular sect is out of its scope. Okay, it means एक custom जो है वो legally binding होगा. Binding मतलब it will have some or good value upon its society. So एक custom एक society के ऊपर पूरी तरह से लागू रहेगा until and unless it is proved that the society or the sect of people following it are going out of scope with the custom, right? For example, you people are studying legal studies right now, so there are many students who will do law. There are many students who have taken up legal studies as a scoring subject. Both the students have the correct ray of thought. दोनों तरह के students सही सोच रहे हैं. But then if it turns out कि neither, like both the set of students have neither of this thought, ना ही उनको high scoring numbers चाहिए, ना ही उनको law करना है, तो फिर legal studies लेने का फायदा ही क्या हुआ? It goes out of scope, right? Simple as that. So a custom is legally binding. It is perfectly working in nature until and unless it is proven that it's taking its followers out of scope. उनको रास्ते से दूर कर रहा है, काम उनके सारे गलत हो रहे हैं, right? ठीक है? Any doubt here? Everybody sleepy? Wake up. अभी 11:15 हो रहा है, सो मत यार. Okay, the third point is, in the event that custom is a local custom, it is limited to a specific area, then again the utilization need to be kept to a specific region because it would be followed locally. Avishi, what does this third point mean? It is specific to a like local custom दिया हुआ है. Local custom का क्या मतलब हो रहा है यहाँ पे? Avishi, switch on your mic. Yes, Lotus. Avishi, you lost your turn. Lotus took your turn. He took an opportunity. It's okay, no problem. But yes, Lotus, you're right. If there is a custom which is being practiced in a local circle, it's a local custom and it's limited to a specific region and a specific number of people. Okay? Next point. In that capacity, a legitimate custom can't be comprehended in the feeling of use, which is additionally founded on time immemorial, yet it has not procured authoritative or required character, nor a user can be practiced starting at right and hearing in one individual and official or on the other against whom such is guaranteed. Firstly, I'm going to make you understand the meaning of this. Secondly, to learn this point, students kindly break down the sentence. It's a very long sentence without any commas, without any punctuation. So if you are learning it, first break down the sentence and understand it, because writing such a huge sentence without any punctuations might allow you to reform the sentence, and you might even change the meaning of the sentence. तो ऐसा ना करना. You don't reach to this point, so try breaking down the sentence and then understanding and learning it. Okay, so yes, what this point says, in that capacity, a legitimate custom, which is basically a customary law. A legitimate custom is something like a custom which has turned out to be a law. It has become legitimate. Legitimate का मतलब होता है legal. Okay, so a legal custom cannot be comprehended in the feeling of use, which is additionally founded on time immemorial, yet it has not procured authoritative or required character. अथॉरिटेटिव का मतलब क्या हो रहा है कस्टम के लिए यहाँ? वंस अ कस्टम गेट्स इट्स अथॉरिटेटिव पावर, इट्स लीगल सैंक्शन, right, it comes into function and it's no longer just a custom, but it's a legitimate custom, and then it cannot be comprehended in the feeling of just using it because it was used or founded way back. Now that has procured so much authority, so much official power, it becomes a customary law. If I tell you the meaning of the sentence in Hindi, it means एक custom जो है, if it becomes a legal custom, ठीक है, एक custom अगर legal custom बनता है तो वो इसलिए नहीं बनता है सिर्फ that इतने साल पुराना है वो custom, right? उसका using a custom is not limited to the point that it is such an old custom. It also involves the point that it procures an authoritative power and officiating. It enters the officiating business. Government के हाथों में वो custom आ जाता है as law, and hence it is imposed on us, and then we use it. And custom को use करना is no such statement. Custom को हम abide करते हैं, we don't use it, right? So this statement throws out a lot many meanings. Do not get confused. इस वाले point पे everybody put a star, because this is like so far the toughest point that you all have come across, and we are always going to break down such long sentences and then understand the meaning and learn it. Okay, all right. I know you people might be having a doubt in this sentence, but it's okay. We won't put all the time in this sentence because there are other points also. और जहाँ पे भी wherever you get 12 points to write, you can also you can always cut down 1 or 1.5 points, because that reduces the chance of you being confused. Okay, 12 पॉइंट है, 12 के 12 में से अगर 8 गलत लिख दोगे तो क्या फायदा? 10 लिख के आओ, 10 के 10 सही लिख के आओ. All right. The next point is custom can be substantial. Custom to be substantial has been in usage from time immemorial. ये सबको पता है. Use of late inception can be given impact by the courts on the ground that parties. All right. There is a power cut.